I hope you saw in worship the introduction of dana.pate, of Reverend dana.pate, who's going to be a part of our pastoral team here at Denver United Methodist Church. And she and I just want to give you a little bit of the background of how this came to be. So I think it was about January.
It was.
Reverend David Christie, who is our district superintendent, gave me a call and asked about the possibility of being in ministry together in a unique partnership with Ebenezer and Mott's Grove. That just high level, what it looks like is Dana will be appointed here quarter time.
Yes.
And is there such a thing as quarter time ministry?
Not for pastors, no.
Right.
But anyway, we'll go with it.
Right, yeah. So she's going to be part of our pastoral team, part of our staff, while also serving Mott's Grove and Ebenezer. And what David's vision for this and what he felt God calling him to do was to open up that door, an opportunity for shared ministry in our community.
Yes.
With our brothers and sisters at these churches.
Right.
And I'm talking a lot. So, Dana, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about who you are and where you come from? And one thing that will be immediately apparent is Dana's overwhelming passion for serving Christ.
Yes.
And let's start with that.
Okay. I love the Lord. Let's just start there, which is the most amazing relationship I think I've ever had in my life. I come from originally Oak Hill, West Virginia. Contrary to what people believe, Loretta Lynn is not the only coal miner's daughter. I am too, and proud of it. And I made my way here to North Carolina, and I was a member of Brevard Chapel. Had been there a couple of years, but also was a minister when I came here from the United Holy Church of America. So the transition has been up and down, but even worth the fight. So I come here, as Steve had said, minister of Ebenezer, minister of Mott's Grove, and now taking on this wonderful opportunity to walk in a different perspective and light. And I think being led by God to see where this takes us.
And I'm excited about this. When I brought this opportunity to our staff parish relations committee, they were excited. They had the opportunity to sit down with Dana, enthusiastically said, let's move forward. Our administrative board, when we gave them word of this, they offered up their endorsement and enthusiasm. And what our hope is to follow where God is taking us. What we know right now is God's opened a door.
Yes.
For relationship.
Yes.
And for ministry, and for us to collectively serve our community. One of the things that I find interesting is that when a United Methodist pastor is appointed,
yes,
they are appointed to a community
right.
that happens to have United Methodist Church.
Yes.
And so our goal is to work together to serve this community for the sake of Christ.
Yes. Well said. And I think that's where our starting point is, Stephen, where our foundation is, serving the community, serving believers, and moving from just this uncomfortable feeling or this, maybe not all the way 100% so on board type of mentality to this is a necessary move. Mm-hmm. And to start with us is mind-blowing to me that God would give us that opportunity.
Well, and God is at work.
Yes.
And our God is big and amazing, and words can't even begin to describe it.
No.
So part of what this relationship will look like is finding ways for us to be in ministry together.
Yes.
And Ebenezer is located just south of Denver United Methodist off of Unity Church Road.
Yes.
And Mott's Grove is just north of us in Sherrills Ford.
Right.
And we're neighbors. We're part of this community, and we're going to serve this community together.
Man, amazing.
And so as we go forward, right? As we go forward with this, we'll find more and more opportunities to work together and to serve Christ together. And as Dana comes into the team at Denver, I'm just excited about the pastoral presence you're going to offer. because these folks have had to depend on just me for a while. So they need a real pastor around here. But
Really? You are a real pastor.
I try.
You are a real pastor.
But so you'll see Dana in various ways. You won't see a lot of her on Sunday morning because she has Ebenezer and Mott's Grove to look after.
Yes.
But we're also going to find ways and times where we can make sure you have a presence here on Sunday mornings so that you can get to know the folks here, so that I and the rest of the team can get to know the folks at Mott's Grove and Ebenezer.
Yes. And that's what I'm excited about too, because like Steve said, a real pastor there, I think they would need a break from me. But that's exciting too, because we'll get a chance to minister together, worship together. And really form this connection and this unity that I think God is calling for in this day and time.
Right, absolutely. And this is something that God is making happen.
Yes. He's opening this door.
That God says, I've had enough of black people worshiping in black churches, white people worshiping in white churches.
Absolutely.
And my kingdom happens to be for everybody. And if one of the things Dana and I have talked about is someday when the kingdom comes in its fullness,
yes,
we will be together.
Yes.
And so we're called to live out that kingdom now.
Absolutely.
And to be together as God's children in the here and now. And so I know this is a sign of God's kingdom. And by the way, you prayed for this, right? You prayed for this, whether you know it or not. We pray in our services, the Lord's Prayer.
Yes.
We pray, thy will be done, thy kingdom come on
earth as it is in heaven. Yes.
And so this is a sign of on earth as it is in heaven. And I'm excited about that. And
how amazing he chose us.
Right.
Wow. Well, all of that. That he chose us.
Yeah. And we are unlikely people, but you know what? I've noticed God chooses unlikely people over and over and over again to lead and to guide the Church of Jesus Christ. And we're humble servants in that.
Yes.
We recognize we have our shortcomings. But
very much so.
But we are called by God to be in community together. And a lot more will be coming about this. We'll be talking more about this. But just for now, I'm excited that God is opening these doors, this pathway to bring us together for the sake of Christ in this community.
I'm so excited about the people that we are shepherds over, that they were so open and excited about doing a new thing because God is doing a new thing. So, we're work in progress. This whole idea is a work in progress. I think the most thing is that we just ask that you support it, you get behind it, and let's just see what God will do.
And that's the most important thing. Be open to what God is doing in this world.
Yes.
And God will never disappoint.
Never.
Well, thank you, Dana. And again, we'll have more information as things progress. But for now, just pray for this relationship. Pray for Ebenezer, Mott's Grove, and continue your prayers for Denver.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.